A lot of people don't know how to take the risk or how to what do you say progressive overload the risk. What I mean by is a lot of people will run into taking a job for 3 years, 5 years, or maybe a course or education for 3 years or 5 years, something, right? And they take up the decision, they take a risk, like risk for 3 years. You're trying to study something which you don't know is going to exist or not, or maybe you're going to like it or not. Once you completed it, there is a hardly any chance that you're going to want to continue that work or something, because momentarily we liked it or something like. So you're basically taking a risk for 3 years, 4 years, something. And most of time people not even like give a month or 2 months to decide what they want to do, and they jump into a decision or something like this. So you are risking for 3 years, 4 years. That is totally bad. Risk should always start from small risk. Like do something for a month, internship or some job or something like a month or 2 months. If you really want it, continue it and study for it or something like this. What I see is a lot more time people taking big risk, and they don't have appetite of big taking risk. I've seen kids of 16, 17 years taking risk of their life for 4 years, 5 years. They will decide something big, but you haven't built the stamina to take the risk. You should always do small things. Like once you're able to do something of like a month kind of project or commitment or something like, then you go for 3 months, then 6 months or something. Once you have built that like appetite for that risk, then you go for 3 or 4 years. Why I'm gonna say that? I have done a job which requires certain degree or something like this, and I did it self-taught without anything or something like this. I worked in a two company. I secured a job. I got good pay for it, and eventually I felt like I didn't wanted to do the job, and I felt so lucky that I didn't wasted a 3 years degree or a PhD or something like on that subject. Otherwise, I would have wasted so much time and effort and everything, and then eventually not doing that job which I studied would have killed me, would have made me look so stupid. Then I felt I was so lucky. So that gave me this insight that while risking it, you don't know what is going to do with. So and probably I didn't had that appetite of that big risk, which I took it. A lot of people are doing worse than me. So whenever you're taking risk, it should be in a progressive overload manner, right? I remember when I first started YouTube content, I basically learned a new framework called Manim just to make animation and everything. Like I gave like a good solid 3 4 months to understand that Python coding for this Manim thing, so that I could create animation and make beautiful videos. But those videos were not in demand. I wasted so much time on that. So instead you should not I should not have risked that big. And the best is like you create small stuff like a shorts or something like this. Or maybe you wanted to do in the field of certain job, take an internship or some small course for a month, 3 months, see how the feedback is, how the market, how much you understand. Once you have this thing, then go for like a year or something like this. When the year is done, then go for 3 or something like this. So how the risk appetite is built. You always start slow and then gradually increase. I remember back then, whatever the big risk which I have taken, it's built on the confidence of the previous risk which I've taken and been successful. But when I see a lot of people taking risk without any receipt of success which they had back or build that confidence. So I hope you understand this half-baked idea of mine. And Naval also says that, like Naval Ravikant says that, yeah, you need to spend time before taking such a big decision of your life. I will add to that. Not only you need to spend time, but you should have something previously have done, like some kind of similar work, or it's not similar work, basically some kind of proof that you have taken half of the amount of that risk which you're going to take it. So it should be a gradual increase in your risk power. I hope you understand this, and do let me know if you have a better example to explain this stuff in the comments. I will love to read them.